Good morning. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Today we are going to continue with Mendel's law on page 284. We are going to start with a new type of cross, which is the incomplete dominance cross or the intermediate heredity. What does these words mean? We are going to see. If we cross two white roses with red roses, we will have pinky roses in F1, which are all uniform. So you have white crossed with red, and you have a new trait appearing, which is pink, neither white, neither red. This is called intermediate or incomplete dominance, meaning that neither white nor red appeared. They both created a new trait. So both alleles are dominant. Both red and white are dominant, since crossing white with red gave 100% pink, which is a new phenotype. The name of this cross, as we said, is incomplete or intermediate dominance because the descendants have a new phenotype that is different from both parents. The symbols, you have to use both letters in capital letters. The F1 will be since the F1 are uniform, then the parents are pure. This was Mendel's first law. Since all the F1 are pink, then the parents are pure. Draw out the alleles of F1. So F1 is going to take R from the red rose and W from the white rose. Please, here in the case of incomplete dominance or intermediate heredity, you have to use the order of alphabets, meaning that R is before W, the letter R is before letter W. Then you have to write R then W, okay, when you write the genotype. Keep that in mind. So now they are asking us to calculate the proportions. Last time we studied about how to calculate the percentage, which was the partial over the total times 100. Now we are going to do the proportions. So you have 15 red roses, 14 white roses, and 31 pink roses that appeared after crossing F1 with F1. As we said, F1 has a genotype RW. So the proportion is going to be, you are going to take the number and divide it by the smallest number. So you have 15 over 14, which is 1. You have to do rounding, okay? If you have 0.9, you do it rounding for 1, or 1.1, you do rounding for 1. 14 over 14 is 1, and 31 over 14 is 2. So the total will be 1 plus 1 plus 2, which is 4. So the proportion of red is 1 over 4. Proportion of white is 1 over 4, and proportion of pink is 2 over 4. With simplification, it's going to be 1 over 2. Make the necessary factorial analysis to verify the results obtained. So you have F1 RW and F1 RW. You are going to use proportions because they asked in proportion earlier. R is half. Instead of 50%, you write half. W half, R half, and W half. And you fill the factorial table. Of course, the female and the male. The gametes of the male are RW. RW for the female, each is 1 over 2. And each box is 25%, which represents 1 over 4 in the proportion. So you will have 1 over 4 RR, which is red, 1 over 2 RW, which is pink, and 1 over 4 WW, which is white. So you have to write the results are verified, okay, because they are going to check in your official exam. If this word is written, then they correct it. So we will come to the second cross, which is the codominant cross. I think that this word has came to your mind earlier when we spoke about the blood groups. You have blood group A and blood group B, and you have the blood group AB. So it carries both blood groups. Here it's the same. You have a fish with red scales and one with blue scales, which gave birth to a fish with both blue and red. So both phenotypes appear. So this type is called codominant cross because you have both the traits are expressed in the F1 generation. Of course, the symbols are both in capital letter because they are codominant. They asked to do the factorial necessary analysis for the F2. So you have they didn't ask for F1, but I'm gonna repeat it for you. So red is RR and blue is BB. Why? Because according to Mendel, if the F1 are homogeneous or uniform, then the parents are pure. So you will have 100% BR the F1. Crossing BR with BR, you will give you gametes 50% B, 50% R. Of course, you write the B before the R because according to alphabets. And the table, as usual, you will get genotype blue 25, BB, which is phenotypically blue 25%. Blue and red, it's 50%. And RR, which is red 25%. So, if the crossing of F1 or the self-fertilization resulted in F2 having the following phenotypes. So if the F2 has 75% dominant trait and 25% recessive trait, then it's the case of dominance. If you have 25% the phenotype of the male and 25% the phenotype of the female and 50% a new phenotype, then it's incomplete dominance. 25% the phenotype of the male, 25% the phenotype of the female, and you have 50% mixed phenotype, then it's the case of codominance. You can continue the homework, which I gave it to you on basic application exercise 1, the rest of the exercise. And if you have any question, do not hesitate to contact me on my Facebook Messenger. Stay safe.